Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Dylan Knows, episode 612, the new 52, a life in a year. That is mostly for the fact that I turned 52 on Friday. There's 52 weeks in a year. So I am 52 years old, but if you think about it as the aspect of there's 52 weeks in a year, I've lived a full year, lived a whole life in a full year, 52 weeks. So hasn't always been a great one. It's had its moments. And we move ever forward, which is not going to be fun because it was also the first day of summer, was also surprisingly on my birthday this year. 10:42 p.m. on my birthday was officially summer solstice. So technically the first day of summer was on my birthday, even though it was at 10:42 p.m. First full day obviously was today because it's been over an hour, a full day, 24, almost 25 hours since summer solstice hit. So now what happens? Well, it gets warm, it gets hot, it gets sticky, it gets disgusting. It makes me turn hateful because I absolutely despise the heat. I absolutely despise the summer. I am always surprised about people who absolutely love the summer, how they can stand the oppressive heat and humidity, how they can spend all their time on a stupid beach on the ocean, just laying in the sun or just swimming in the pool for a while. It's fun for a little bit, but that's like all you do during the summer. And it gets kind of boring after a while, and it's still hot as Hades. And then, I don't know. I don't like the summer. I hate the heat and I hate the humidity. If I lived in a place that didn't have humidity, maybe it would be tolerable, but I don't, unfortunately. It's also long and drawn out and not a lot is happening, and it's just disgusting. And I'm hoping that it's not going to be too bad. I'm hoping that what's coming this week, which is one of the main reasons why I absolutely despise summer. The heat dome is coming back thanks to climate change, where we're going to be getting into temperatures in the upper 90s and the hundreds down the city with high humidity for most of this week. And then even the weekend is going to be surprisingly, oh my God, it's going to be like 90 to 88 to 90 degrees this weekend coming up. Oh boy, that's going to be a relief. I'm glad the heat dome's now and not next week, up to this upcoming week, and not the week after, the week of July 4th, because that's when my family's going away for summer camp. So I'll be by myself for the full week. I'm taking the full week off and have July 4th also. So I'm just going to do lots of movie marathons, stuff like that, and do my own thing. So that'll be good. So it is summer, and we do have an oppressive heat front coming through starting tomorrow and lasting till about Thursday, which is absolutely disgusting. I don't know if I can handle 4 straight days, and I can't take any days off because I'm going to be taking a full week off the week after. And I feel bad for my daughter who started her training for her summer job this week. It was director's week this week, and then it's first week of training, or the only week of training, and then summer camp starts for them. So on Thursday, a massive storm ripped through the campground they were at, and it was a massive storm hit us about 4:30 p.m., massive rain, thunder and lightning, stuff like that. So my daughter had to skip, unfortunately, her cousin's graduation party, which was today. She really wanted to go, but she couldn't because the campsite is an absolute disaster, and it's their job to help clean it up and get it ready for summer camp time. So that's what we had. My niece's graduation party was today. It was nice. They rented a Dakota ice truck, and we had pit beef that my brother-in-law made, steam, smoked, did everything. He did a fantastic job on it. It was really, really good. It was my sister-in-law Catherine's house. My brother-in-law Mike wasn't there because one of his sons had a baseball tournament he had to be at up in Pennsylvania, and it was just a low-key okay. My birthday was low key also because my wife had to go get my daughter after work, so she left work at 5, got up there about 7:30 ish, and then they came back about 8:30, 8:45 ish, and so we had pizza and then opened presents and had ice cream and then ice cream cake, and then my daughter had to get up early this morning because she had taken driver's lesson at 7 a.m. It's the only time that was open. And then I drove her back up to camp and then picked up my son and drove over to Ellicott City and hang out there. And of course, I'm yawning now. And I'm hot. I'm sweaty right now because already it was the heat starting to roll in. I can feel it. And I absolutely am hating life right now. We just bombed Iran also, that's just great also. So fan-fucking-tastic about that. This fucking criminal in the White House is obscene, and I don't know why nobody's doing a goddamn thing to get rid of him. Everything's just shit right now, and we've got 3 fucking full months of summer right now that I'm going to have to get through, and I'm hoping and praying that we're not going to get massive heat, that this heat dome is like the only massive heat we get in the rest of the year. The rest of the summer is going to be regular, but I know that's not going to happen. Oh, well. And then on top of that, I wanted to try the new Mountain Dew Summer Freeze because it is now out. And I got one, and my friend David Little got me one also, and both are zero sugar. I do not like the zero sugar Mountain Dews. I'm still going to try it, though. It's Summer Freeze, cherry, lemon, raspberry flavored. It is zero sugar, so I'm going to have a little bit of a adverse reaction to it because I really don't like zero sugars. I'm surprised Dave didn't know he was trying to be something nice for my birthday, which I great. Thank you so much, Dave. It was awesome. I love it. You didn't know I didn't like zero sugar. You just grabbed the first one you saw, and that's sort of like what I did, too. It was zero sugar. I was like, don't they have regular? I thought they did. I'll go check in the grocery store tomorrow when I go grocery shopping. But it's supposed to taste like a Rocket Pop. They had the same flavor out about 2 years ago. It's supposed to taste like a Rocket Pop. It did not taste like a Rocket Pop. I don't even know what it tastes like. It was just sort of there. And then last year they did a 50 flavors for the 50 states one that tasted more like a Rocket Pop than the one before that. So here we go. I'll try the zero sugar one, but I definitely want to try the regular one as well. But thank you, Dave, for this. I do appreciate it. Thank you. You did not have to get me anything for my birthday, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. A little bit of raspberry flavor to it. Okay. Looks like they tweaked the recipe. This actually tastes like a Rocket Pop for once. I don't know what they did 2 years ago, but this actually is pretty decent and is a bit more the 50 flavor one that was last year tasted like a Rocket Pop, but it still wasn't quite 100% perfect. This is very nearly perfect for a Rocket Pop. Yes, the tail end of it, you get the Rocket Pop aspect of it too. Zero sugar's in there. It's not awful, but it's not my favorite. And maybe that's the key. Maybe the regular one doesn't have the Rocket Pop flavor because the zero sugar that they use for this Mountain Dew might help accentuate the flavor a little bit more. I won't know till I try the actual one, the zero sugar. But the zero sugar Summer Freeze is really not bad. It does taste like a Rocket Pop. I do have another one in the refrigerator, so I guess I think I will be able to tolerate it. But that one was the one that I drank was from my friend David Little, and I do appreciate. Thank you, Dave. His wedding anniversary is coming up in a couple days, so happy wedding anniversary to you guys, and thank you for the present. one of my managers and some of my friends got me a Reese's peanut butter cup and a regular Mountain Dew in a box, and they gave it to me for my birthday, and they sang happy birthday to me. That was kind of nice. So I finally got my 13-inch TV that I've been dying to have for about 2 years now that I'm putting in our bedroom. So I got that for my birthday, which is great. Got a lot of books and only like 2 movies. I was hoping for the reverse. I'd like to get more movies than books, but the books I got, I really wanted. They were on my Amazon list, and I wanted to read them, and I'm glad I have them. It's just I kind of wanted more movies than books at this moment in time. But that was good, though. And I got a couple new shirts. I wore one of my new ones today, and I have one for my daughter I'll wear potentially Friday. But if it's going to be by the weekend, it should be a little bit better temperature, so we'll see what happens. I'm just going to be wearing like T-shirts all this week to counteract this stupid fucking heat that we're going to deal with right now. But yeah, so it was, all in all, it was pretty nice. I had a pretty decent Father's Day also. I got another book and another shirt. I don't think I got any DVDs. Oh, I got the cards. Yeah, I got my gift cards. So I got a V-Buck card for Fortnite. I got Amazon gift cards, and I got Apple iTunes cards. So that was good for that. So it was decent. So that was that. So another year under my belt. My son's birthday is the next one, and that just so happens to coincide with the first day of school, unfortunately. So but we're moving right along here. So let's get through this shit. We talked about that also. So here we go. Shirley Temple seems to be a new favorite flavor. 7-Up is bringing back their awesome Shirley Temple soda, which I first revealed here on my show back in October, November. It was awesome. My kids loved it. It was awesome. They loved it too. And I can't wait till it comes back. It's going to be great. Well, there was a WNBA player who was being interviewed, and she said what it would take to get a Shirley Temple Gatorade flavor. So Gatorade said, all you got to do is ask. So they created a Shirley Temple Gatorade flavor. That sounds freaking awesome also. However, we're not going to get it. They made it directly for the player, and they're the only ones who is going to get it. That's fine. It was her suggestion, stuff like that. But I kind of wish it would be a good marketing campaign. You release it for a limited time during the summer while the WNBA is playing. You plaster her picture all over the Gatorade bottle, get people to get interested in going to the games, and they get the chance to try the Shirley Temple Gatorade, which sounds actually really awesome. But we're not going to see that, unfortunately, which sucks. Though they are saying that Diet Coke Lime is going to be coming back in the fall with retro can cover, stuff like that. I always thought my wife really, really liked the Diet Coke Lime, but I told her about it. I thought she'd be excited about it. She's like, yeah, I think I like the lemon better. I was like, I think you like the lime better, to be honest. And then they just sort of discontinued it, and now they're bringing it back. So we'll see what happens. I might get a case of that just to see when it comes out, see if she still likes that. So that's good. Pokemon and Krispy Kreme are teaming up for a collaboration. So there's going to be Pokemon Krispy Kreme donuts here coming out here down the line here soon. I went ahead of myself, but I just forgot to cover that right now. Elliot Page is joining an already stacked cast in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. This reteams Elliot with Christopher Nolan. They worked together in Inception, so it'd be nice to see what he will be doing. Apparently, he and Zendaya are filming in Iceland now for The Odyssey. That's pretty wild. And supposedly, an Odyssey trailer is set to come out in the next couple weeks. I would assume probably maybe with Jurassic Park or Jurassic World in July would be the best time to do that. So that's good. Russell Crowe once told a story about how he met young Henry Cavill when Russell Crowe was, was a pretty good actor at the time already. I think it was 2000 actually. So just a Gladiator, and Henry Cavill, who's a lot younger than I thought he was just in school, and they talked a little bit, and he always remembered him, and so they teamed up in the god awful Snyder Man of Steel movie, but they're reteaming again. This time for the Highlander remake that is coming up soon. So Russell Crowe has joined the cast of the Highlander remake. I don't know what role. Maybe it would be interesting to see him as a Sean Connery role, to be the mentor to Henry Cavill's Highlander. So that would be interesting to see if that is actually the case of what it is. Ryan Reynolds is set to produce a live-action Dragon's Lair movie for Netflix. Dragon's Lair was a hugely popular animated video game, which nobody had ever seen before. Don Bluth did the animations for it, and you controlled. It was the hottest video game in the 1980s, and basically you controlled a cartoon character. And that was the video game, and that was a huge game, and it became a huge hit. And Space Ace was the sequel that came out after. It wasn't as popular as Dragon's Lair, but still was good enough. And then before you know it, everybody was trying to throw some sort of animated video game out there that didn't quite work. But Dragon's Lair was the first, and Ryan Reynolds has been trying to do this for a while, but he's producing it. He has a director named Stephen Bobbin who's done a few things. I think he did a Muppet movie, and he did something else also that means that he's worked with regular people before. So could be interesting to see. That's for Netflix, so we'll see if and when that actually comes out. She-Ra gets her first ever Barbie doll for her 40th anniversary. I don't think she's popping up in the Masters of the Universe movie that's due out next year, which coincidentally finished filming this week. And they showed a back in shadow picture of the actor playing He-Man. And he looks decent from the back and in shadow. So we'll see what happens like that. Found this out today. Tim Curry has a memoir coming out on October 14th of this year. And I cannot wait to get it. That's one book I will definitely want to read and get because Tim Curry has had such an interesting career. So it'll be interesting to see that as well. John Barenthal is set to reprise his role as the Punisher in the new Spider-Man movie, Brand New Day. He's been trying to get that done for a while because Punisher is connected to Spider-Man and Daredevil, and he's already done Daredevil, so let's do some Spider-Man. Coincidentally, for those who don't know, the Punisher first appeared in Spider-Man, actually, and not in Daredevil. Eventually, it was probably Frank Miller who decided to make him a foil for Matt Murdock. And so when the TV show came out, they sort of made him be more of a foil for Frank Castle. But Spider-Man has more of a connection to the Punisher than Daredevil does. So it'll be interesting to see how that actually, works out as well. Callie Hart's Quicksilver series of books are getting a film adaptation. I've never heard of them, so hopefully they're going to be good. Speaking of Russell Crowe, he has been cast, or the movie's been made. They just got a distribution deal. Nuremberg, about the Nuremberg trials. Stars Russell Crowe, Rami Malek, and Michael Shannon. So that's a pretty decent cast. Jake Gyllenhaal has signed on for a series of short movies called Code Black. Matt Reeves, who's doing the Batman and started the Planet of the Apes thing, he is producing this series of stuff, so that should be interesting. Jake Schreier, who directed the Thunderbolts movie, has been tasked to direct the first X-Men movie for the MCU when they come out after Secret Wars. Speaking of that, a mysterious MCU event film has been posted for December 2028. So the anticipation for that is is sorry, I heard some scratching noises. It's either that they're going to secretly split Secret Wars into two movies and have them come out a year apart because Secret Wars not coming out to 2027. Yeah, not until 2027, December 2027. So they might secretly be splitting it into a second movie. So you'll have two Secret Wars movies. Or it could actually be the first X-Men movie because they made that announcement around the same time that they announced that Jake Shearer was going to be directing X-Men. So we'll see what that ends up being, and we'll find out before everything happens, of course. M. Night Shyamalan's Remains with Jake Gyllenhaal, or is it Ryan Gosling? One of those two is has started production. That's the romantic supernatural movie he's making with the guy who wrote The Notebook. So there we go. We got our first full-length Naked Gun trailer. It looks like it's going to be a mix of the silly Leslie Nielsen Naked Gun movie, but with a little bit of a more serious edge to it because you have Liam Neeson playing the role of Frank Drebin Jr. So you get sequences of action sequences and stuff like that, and him and his gruff voice and stuff like that doing stuff and being a bit more violent than Frank was in the Naked Gun movies. But then you also have the goofy stuff that you're expecting from the Naked Gun film. So it's going to run a sort of fine line, and we'll see what happens. It still looks kind of interesting, but I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way to see it at the movie theater. You love my giddy. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but it still looks decent, and I hope it does pretty good. So, and it's going to be interesting to see him do that. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. The next MCU TV series, Ironheart, comes out on, I thought it was the 24th, but now they're saying it's the 25th. So somewhere you'll see it's either 24th or 25th. I think it's only 6 episodes, and I think Disney Plus is dropping 3 on the 24th, 25th, and 3 on the 2nd, 3rd of July. So that's going to be it. It's not getting as much press as it should. The character of Ironheart, Riri Williams, popped up in the Black Panther 2 movie that the star of the moment, Ryan Coogler, directed. And Ryan Coogler is producing the show. I just don't think it's getting the attention and love from Disney to get the attention, but there are people trying to get the news out, and I think I will watch it. I might wait till it's completed and watch all 6 episodes. We'll see. I have my new TV. I can take it upstairs. I can watch it there if I want to. So we'll see what happens about that. But it looks interesting, and I love the idea that it is a technology versus magic story, and you don't really see it all that often. And Ryan Coogler isn't directing it, but he's producing it. And I think he's going to make sure that things are going to run good. So I think it's a really good idea. And I'm really interested to see Riri and the Hood as being the main villain. And we might finally get our Mephisto, who is rumored to be in it as well. So we'll see what happens. Hi, buddy. I think that's all the pop culture that's on this page right now. I just got science stuff now, I think. No, don't sit on my notes. Pepper. You're sitting on my notes. Sorry, I have a kitty on my notes. Come here, boy. Oh, you're sitting on my notes. I need my notes to do my show. Okay. So, as I told you at the beginning of the show, the convict in the White House right now, he has bombed Iran. Iran has also been hit with a 5.1 earthquake this week. So they're not having a good time right now. The driest place on Earth has been discovered that wildflowers have been blooming there. So that's for the first time in a decade. So that is really cool. What are you doing? He's like on the chair, leaning against my back. What are you doing, silly boy? Um, Now we're talking about this heat dome that's supposed to hit us this week. I wish I was out in Montana and Idaho where it's snowing. Snow in Montana and Idaho, but that's not actually all that unusual. They usually get some snow out there in June, July, and stuff like that. Kilauea, the massive volcano in Hawaii, has been erupted. Talked about it last week. It erupted last week. It's been shooting 1,000. Where is it? 1,000-foot high lava fountains have been spouting from Kilauea. So that's a crazy sight to see. And then Kroger. Now, I'm first of all, we don't have any Krogers in our area. Second of all, Kroger gets all of the special, exclusive snacks and drinks and stuff like that, and some really cool stuff you can only get at Kroger. And like the Thrashed Apple Mountain Dew is only available at Kroger. I had to order mine online from Amazon for an exorbitant expense because I wanted to try it, and I really liked it. It would have been nice to have it on a more regular basis. So, but Kroger is hitting much with like everything else around here. They are going to be closing 60 of their stores over the next 18 months. So that's not good. We'll see what happens. That's what you get when you have a moron who doesn't know how to run anything, bankrupt your country again, and you let them run that. Ridiculous. Anniversaries, particularly around my birthday. Three big movies came out on my birthdays, different years though. The biggest one, of course, was the 50th anniversary of Jaws. Jaws debuted on June 20th, 1975, 50 years ago this week. Didn't get a chance to watch it because I wanted to watch it last night for the anniversary, but due to the lateness of birthday stuff and stuff like that, didn't happen. The Blues Brothers debuted on June 20th, 1980, 45 years ago this week. Hi, buddy. I'm about to movie in a second. So that's always a good one because Blues Brothers is a great freaking movie also. And I just found this out this week. The Karate Kid debuted, Karate Kid 2, I should say, debuted 39 years ago this week. I like Karate Kid 2 more than Karate Kid 1. I'll be the first to admit that. Plus, it's not on this page, but it's on another page. Inside Out, the first one, debuted 10 years ago on my birthday. So some good stuff has come out on my birthday. And then this year we have Elio and 28 years later. So that's interesting. We have a lot of like historic anniversaries this week for some weird reason. First up, movie-wise, The Apartment debuted 65 years ago this week. Taylor Swift's first single, what's the name of a country, so not Alan Jackson, but something like that, debuted 19 years ago. So she started her beginning of her reign 19 years ago. So I'm going to have to turn the page here in a second. And the first in our many history things, June 21st, 1788, New Hampshire becomes the 9th state to ratify the Constitution of the United States. With the 9th state ratifying it, it has pushed it over what it needed to be to get authorized as the law of the land. So New Hampshire signing automatically turned the Constitution into the law of the land. Not that that matters now because the people who are in office could give a rat's ass about the Constitution with the exception of the Second Amendment. But other than that, there's not much more I can say about that. You are a silly boy. I'm going to have to move you here in a second. Deaths. Oh, yeah. Let's see. This is such a good Garland Sartain. A second here. Or is it Gaylord Sartain? Hold on. I think it's Gaylord Sartain. Yep. Gaylord Sartain was a character actor who passed away this week. He started on Hee Haw, but did a whole bunch of other stuff as well. He was in Nashville. He was the Big Bopper in the Buddy Holly story. He was in The Jerk. He was in Outsiders. He was in All of Me. He was in The Big Easy. He was in Ernest Goes to Camp. He was in Ernest Saves Christmas. He was in Blaze. He was in Ernest Goes to Jail. He was in The Grifters. He was in Fried Green Tomatoes. He was in Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. He was in The Real McCoy. He was in Clean Slate. He was in Speechless. That's right. He played one of the workers. He was in The Spitfire Grill. He was in Rocket Man. He was in The Patriot. He was in The Replacements. That's right. He played their defensive coordinator, I think, in The Replacements. He was in Ali, and he was in Elizabethtown. And then TV, he did Hee Haw for 2 years, Sonny and Cher, Dukes of Hazzard. He really had a thing for Ernest P. Worrell. He was in Hey Vern, it's Ernest TV show. Then he did like King of the Hill, Chicago Hope, Walker, Texas Ranger, The Simpsons, Arliss. He played Don Zimmer in the Joe Torre TV movie. He was in Pirates of Silicon Valley. So Gaylord Sartain has been around for a while, and I remember Gaylord Sartain now. He was the defensive coordinator in The Replacements. So we got that. I got to take a picture of my kitty here, helping with my show. All right, Pep. Lou Christie, a soft rock musician, passed away this week as well. Excuse me. Lynn Hamilton, an actress who was in The Waltons and Sanford and Son, she passed away this week as well. Jack Betts, Spider-Man actor. I guess I don't remember him from Spider-Man. Maybe he was a TV show Spider-Man because he was older character actor. Kevin Yarborough, an R&B musician. He also died this week. You're not going to like this, Pep. I got to move this. That's okay. You can stay right there. I'll put this in front of me. Is that good? This is going to be a little awkward, but we'll try to do this because I don't want to move the kitty. No, I don't. Who's my big boy? Tom Rise Harris has been cast as Clayface in his standalone Clayface movie written by Mike Flanagan. So the fact that it's written by Mike Flanagan is a plus, and just Clayface is just a weird character to put in a standalone movie. But okay, you go, James Gunn. I'm all for it, man. Oh, Mindhunter, the TV show on Netflix, Mindhunter, that was a huge hit about serial killers, and then it was canceled after a few seasons. David Fincher's involved with it. They announced this week that they will be doing 3 standalone Mindhunter movies. Don't know if Fincher's going to direct one of them, but they will be doing some Mindhunter movies. Look how cute you are. You're so adorable. Look at you. I got to get another picture of you because you're so cute. Hi, big boy. So good for fans of that show. Carla Gugino, who I love and adore, has been cast in David Fincher's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel. Don't know what character she's going to play, but the fact that she's in it is making it a much more interesting movie now also. Oh, okay. The traitor in the White House, the convict in the White House, has decided he's going to repeal the ban on asbestos, which is one of the dumbest things ever. And we do a little bit digging. It's because Russia is one of the biggest people that creates asbestos. So he's trying to help out his Russian sugar daddy because he's a traitor to our country. An asbestos ban? Come on, man. Seriously, you're getting rid of that moron. Owen Wilson is set to reprise his role in the Meet the Parents movie, Meet the Parents 4, due out on November 25th, 2026. If I recall correctly, he played a former boyfriend of, I forget the actress's name, but the woman who married Ben Stiller. And Robert De Niro loved him and was trying to get him to break up Ben Stiller and his daughter so that he could marry. So Owen Wilson's character could marry his daughter because he liked him better than Ben Stiller's character. But after 3 movies, I think they've gotten to the point where they're more respect for each other. So we'll see what happens. Return to Silent Hill is set to debut on January 23rd, 2026. So we're getting a sequel to the Silent Hill movies. Excuse me, don't you swipe at me. Oh, Ida Bates has been cast as Paul and Shiana's daughter in Dune 3. Zendaya's and Timothée Chalamet's daughter. Her brother is been cast also. I'll get to that in a little bit. But yes, so they've cast the children in Dune 3, and Jason Momoa is set to return in Dune 3 also, even though his character died. But if you read Dune Messiah, you know how he comes back. So there we go. Pluto apparently has a new kind of climate. The current JWST has been doing some research on it, and Pluto's climate is different than anything they've ever seen before. So continuing the reason why Pluto kicks all your ass. Tim Russ, who had a very small cameo role in Spaceballs, is set to reprise the same role in Spaceballs 2. So, okay. Capri Sun is releasing a 15-inch drink packet that for the solstice. You could only order it online, I think, and it was sold out very quickly because it's everyone loves the Capri Sun packets, and this is a 15-inch one instead of the typical 3 or 4-inch one. So it had a pretty good deal. Dr. Demento is set to call it a career after 55 years. He will be retiring this year. Dr. Demento. The new Toxic Avenger trailer came out. No real interest in that. Rare purple honey has been found in North Carolina, and it's not something weird like they found weird honey in another state years ago, but they discovered that it was because the bees were going to this factory and drinking colored water or whatever, and it turned their honey into different colors. This is something completely different and never before seen before. So that's pretty wild. So I said this a couple weeks ago. They announced a Deadpool Batman comic. There are 2 of them. One that DC is doing and one that Marvel's doing. The Deadpool Batman comics are going to have backup stories that are going to be other team-ups, but smaller stories of it. And there's interesting things. First up is Captain America Wonder Woman, written by Chip Zdarsky, with art by Rachel and Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson. That's a great artist, and Chip Zdarsky's currently writing Captain America right now, so why not? And he's shown himself to become quite a good writer. The Crypto and the there's the other, I can't read my handwriting, but there's like another Jeff, like the Jeff animal that's been a big fan, is going to be teaming up with Crypto, written by Kelly Thompson and with art by Gerana. And the big one is a Daredevil Green Arrow crossover written by Kevin Smith with art by Andy Kubert. Kevin Smith wrote both Daredevil and Green Arrow, so it'd be interesting to see that. And it looks like apparently that Greg Capullo is going to be drawing one of the Batman Deadpool stories, so that's pretty good too, to have him do the artwork for one of them. Unfortunately, I think it's the shitty Zeb Wells one, but whatever. Pirates of the Caribbean 6 is said to be starting to be in pre-production right now. And Jerry Bruckheimer says there will be some returning cast members, not saying who, or even if Johnny Depp will be involved, because he said he's going to never do it again. Standing By is a new animated series on Hulu that has the voices of David Tennant, and I can't read the other people who are involved with it. Some other things I can't read. It's about guardian angels. God, I hate my handwriting. Robin Tunney and Ryan Simpler are set to star in, and Arthur Dominguez star in Ugly Cry. Don't know much about that. 15 infant dinosaur skeletons were found in a nest in a foreign country that I can't read because my handwriting sucks. Two new Baja Blast Mountain Dew flavors are set to debut next year. One is an Aki lichen blueberry and a potential strawberry mango or strawberry guava. And they're also not renewing Game Fuel this year, which kind of sucks, but okay. That's what they're going to do, though. My former company, Diamond, is continuing to have troubles. They're continuing to redo things under their bankruptcy issue. The previews catalog, which used to be massive, but since we lost all of like the major ones, it's now very small. They've decided that we're just not going to do the catalog anymore and just do it online digital. So Marty Grosser, who's a guy I worked with when I was at Diamond, who was completely in charge of making the catalog every month, is kind of, he's still working. He's still going to work on the digital version of it, but it's just kind of like there's something about working on the physical copy of it, and the fact that they won't be able to do it anymore kind of pissing them off a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Plus, Dynamite Comics has dropped themselves from Diamond. They're joining with some other company as well. So those bad stuff continues to happen. Whatever. Bowling Green has a new freshman football player who's going to garner a lot of interest, but only because of his name. And we're looking at, the kid's a freshman, so he was born in like 2005, 2006. His name is Gideon ESPN Lamprin. Yes, ESPN is his middle name. So that's going to play well on ESPN when we do College Game Day coming up here. Deaths this week. Anna Burrell, a celebrity chef and host of cooking shows, passed away this week. And Sarah Burrell, who was a real estate agent and also was on a TV show on Netflix called $1 Million Beach House. She passed away in a hit and run this week as well. Anniversaries this week. The Cannonball Run debuted 44 years ago this week. I told you the story last week about it came out the same year as Indiana Jones or as Raiders of the Lost Ark. And which was my birthday, I got to choose what movie I wanted to go see. I chose Cannonball Run over Raiders of the Lost Ark. I told that story, and I always thought maybe I made it up. This just proves it because Cannonball Run came out this week, the week of my birthday. Raiders came out last week, so it would make sense, and they both came out the same year, so it would make sense to kind of do that. So pretty cool that kind of worked out itself. Hi, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with me. I wish you would stay here for a little bit. The Statue of Liberty arrived in New York Harbor on June 17th, 1885. So that's 140 years ago. Pepper, what are you doing? So that's pretty cool. I talked about Inside Out coming out 10 years ago on my birthday. X-Files, Fight the Future, the X-Files movie. That was the first that came out. The X-Files season cliffhanger ended, and then the cliffhanger was taken care of in the movie, and it set up another cliffhanger, and then they talked about what happened in the movie in season 6. So kind of interesting that it fits right in there. So that came out on June 19th, 1998. Dick Tracy, one of my favorite movies of all time, debuted 35 years ago this week. Batman Returns debuted on June 19th, 1992. And June 19th, 1846 was the first ever baseball game was played. First ever professional baseball game was played on June 19th, 1846 in New York. Obviously, so that was 170 or 69 years ago, something like that. So that's crazy. And also Juneteenth happened in June 19th, 1865, when it was announced in Texas that they had to release the slaves down there. So a lot of historical stuff, as I said, going on this week as well. Got about a page, 2 pages left. Now we get a little tough here. So as you know, I'm already bitched and complained about the heat dome that's coming. I absolutely despise summer. But my favorite season, if you guys have been watching, you know for 100% certain, is fall, autumn, whatever you want to call it. It's coming. It's getting here really soon. And it'll be here before I know it. So hopefully this summer goes by really quickly. It is not too brutal. But Corey Michael Smith is set to star in a movie called October, which is a fugitive thriller set on Halloween. So that sounds interesting. So we're starting to get some Halloween stuff rolling through here a little bit. Speaking of autumn, football is one of the reasons why I also like autumn, because football is in full reign, and the Ravens are always played really good. They just picked up one of the best free agent quarterbacks in the league right now. He was released by the Green Bay Packers. He's a Pro Bowler, and he happened to work with Lamar Jackson in Louisville and wanted to Lamar, actually, when he heard that he was released, was basically saying, Eric, go get him. Eric DeCosta, our general manager. So Eric DeCosta found Jair Alexander, said, would you like to come work with Lamar again? We'll only give you like $4 million with incentives that lead up to $6 million for a year. And then if you want to stay, you can. And if you want to stay, we'll work out another deal for you. But if you want to go, you can enter free agency again. So Jair Alexander said, hell yeah, I'll do that. He turned down higher offers from other teams so he could be reteamed with his Louisville quarterback and friend. So it's nice to have that. So now the Ravens secondary is absolutely stacked right now. Our defense is going to be one of the best in the league as long as everybody stays healthy, knock on wood. Thunderbolts Blu-ray is set to debut July 29th. It'll be on digital July 1st. So if you haven't seen it yet, you can check it out on digital. Don't know anywhere with Disney Plus, but I would assume if it's coming out on Blu-ray on 7/29, when Captain America Brave New World came out, on Blu-ray. Disney Plus sort of dropped it about a week later, so probably early August. We're looking at Thunderbolts to hit Disney Plus, but definitely going to pick that up because it was a great film. Another one, we finally have a Blu-ray release date. I've been waiting for this for almost a year now. It hasn't been that long since it came out at the end of last year. Flow, the Oscar award-winning animated film about the black cat, who just left the room here, who gets on a boat with a bunch of other animals and tries to survive in a flooded dystopian world, is finally going to make its way on the Criterion Collection of all things, which is one of the greatest Blu-ray makers out there, on September 23rd. So we'll be seeing that on September 23rd. So that is very good news that we finally have a date on that. Speaking of cats, Dave Bautista is making a cat assassin video game. Take that as you will. The Hunt for Gollum is said to start filming early next year. So we'll be seeing another Lord of the Rings movie in a couple of years now. God, I hate my handwriting. I have no idea what that is. Rare something. Let's move on. Shamir Anderson is set to play Ben Johnson, the track runner who I think was found with PEDs or something like that, in a film called Hate the Player on Paramount Plus. So we'll be doing one of those biopics. Speaking of biopics, Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere, the Springsteen biopic with Jeremy Allen White from The Bear, got its first trailer. It's due to come out October 24th. Looks pretty decent. 3,000 Nintendo Switch 2s were stolen in Colorado. That's not good. There it is. Noka Wolf Momoa has been cast as Leto 2, the other child of Chani and Paul. And he also is the biological son of Jason Momoa, who will also be reprising his role in Dune 3 as well. Billy Porter, Glenn Close, and Jahai Lel have been signed on to the Hunger Games prequel. So we got a couple more casting for the Hunger Games prequel. 2 men were sent to jail for stealing a $6 million golden toilet. Not from the criminal in the White House right now, but from somebody else. A 46 million year old mosquito was found trapped in amber with the blood of some unknown creature intact in it. This is how Jurassic Park starts. It's now reality. An actual mosquito with blood from 46 million years ago, an unknown creature, because they haven't tested it yet. And I don't know if they're going to or they should, because you saw Jurassic Park. But this is how it starts. But it's life imitating art. It's actually happening. It's Michael Crichton knew what he was talking about when he first came up with this idea that there's probably mosquitoes out there trapped in amber that's got blood of dinosaurs still in it, and we can clone them. We'll see what happens. Shin Godzilla is set to return to movie theaters in August. Unfortunately, when it will be returning, my son will be on sea base, so he's very pissed about that. Hopefully, maybe by the time he gets back, maybe it'll still be out in theaters a week later. Hopefully. Jesus. Oh, yeah. What the hell is this? God, I need to do a better job of writing this shit down. Teaser for Wednesday season 2 debuted this week, and it shows Steve Buscemi's fire controlling principal doing Steve Buscemi stuff, and pretty much going through the school and introducing some of the characters, including Wednesday, reintroducing them. But he is controls fire, so that's pretty cool. New Harold and Kumar film from the creators of Cobra Kai, who actually also created the Harold and Kumar movies, will be coming out here soon. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, the movie set debut next year, has just been changed the title to just Supergirl. James Gunn calls out the Snyder Bros, who are claiming they're going to review bomb the Superman movie because they want their Lord God Snyder to be the only director ever to do any thing to do with DC, because they're a bunch of delusional fuckbags who are probably MAGA shitheads as well. Volcano in Bali, Indonesia, Mount Luatachi Lake erupted this week. DC is releasing a mature 17 and up comic book featuring the Red Hood and the Huntress. More DC in the 80s and early 90s used to have a mature readers only. It wasn't Vertigo, but it was just they did DC comics that were mature readers only. Vigilante was one of them, and there was a couple other ones that I can't think of off the top of my head. I think Sandman was involved with that one as well, but it had the little mature readers box on the side. Animal Man was, I think, a part of that as well. And then it turned eventually into Vertigo. But they're going to be doing that again, looks like. So it is going to be, I guess, an in-canon story, and it's going to be more violent and maybe more sexual. Who knows? Shrek 5 is moving to December 23rd, 2026. Toy Story 5 is moving to June 19th, 2025. And Masters of the Universe is set to debut on June 5th, 2026. I'm sorry, 2026, all these. Shrek 5 is set to debut 12/23/26. Toy Story 5 set to debut 6/19/26. And Masters of the Universe set to debut 6/5/26. So that's what it is, actually. So we'll see of Tom Cruise, Dolly Parton, Debbie Allen, and Wynn Thomas are all going to be getting honorary Oscars this year. They'll be having their own separate sort of honorary Oscar thing for the Oscars, but Tom Cruise will be an Oscar award winner. Michael J. Fox has won also. He won one last year. But it's good to see Dolly get one, and Debbie Allen as well, and Wynn Thomas as well. Land of the Lost is going to be getting a reboot series from Netflix. Sure, why not? And I'm not going to worry about these two. Oh, I know what this one is. A rare elevated tornado hits Pikes Peak. That's what that one is. Basically, people don't expect tornadoes to go into the mountains. I mean, you don't expect that. Tornado Alley is the Midwest, and it's start moving over towards Kentucky and stuff like that. That's very flat. So they're expecting tornadoes just basically form over flat areas and then have plenty of time to roll through these things, because, if it does hit something solid, it's going to break up. So that's what you expect tornadoes to do. But in this case, there are some that somehow form, up on mountaintops. And one did in Pikes Peak recently here this week. So that's what that one says. It looks like 3 of the best somethings up for, it looks like I said Oscar, but I don't think that's That's what is up there. So I don't know. So I'm not going to worry about that. So that's that. Death, Betsy Gay, one of the Little Rascals actors, not one of the famous ones, one of the ones that was one of the ancillary characters. She died at the age of 96. Thomas Peace Statler, an astronaut, died at the age of 93 this week. Luis Garrison, an Orioles rookie, died in a jet ski accident. He was only 19 years old. David Hickel Kanui Bell, an actor who was in a live action Lilo and Stitch movie just recently. He passed away at the age of 46. Anniversaries, June 18th, 1983, Sally Ride became the first American woman in space. Dare to Be Stupid, Weird Al Yankovic's one of his albums, debuted 40 years ago this week. Toy Story 3, the best Toy Story movie, debuted 15 years ago this week. OJ's White Bronco chase was 31 years ago this week in 1994. All right, last page. I had to rewrite some of these because my handwriting was even worse here. That's funny. I make this. I make this my last one. Aaron Pierre is set to join the cast of Love of Your Life with Patrick Schwarzenegger and Margaret Qualley, which is a romantic comedy. Zaglis Attenborough, which was a animal that was deemed not alive anymore, an egg-laying mammal, has been discovered alive. Again, I don't know why I didn't fix that one. It's like I said, too much trash. Oh, too much trailer. That's what it is. Didn't really register with me. That's why I was able to say that. Roger Daltrey was knighted. So he's now Sir Roger Daltrey. MASH is a new movie starring Nikki Glazer, where she's going to co-write, star, and produce it. Care Bears is getting a live-action film from Warner Bros. So I talked about that last week. Julian Cantefeld joins Brendan Sklenar for FAST, coming here soon. Masters of the Universe, I talked about that. Finished production. We got our first look at Masters of the Universe. It's a trailer. I just don't know for what. So some trailer came out this week. I can't read my handwriting. I thought I fixed most of these. I guess a new fantasy series is set to replace the Wheel of Time on Amazon. No new information was given on it, but they're going from just one fantasy show to another, hopefully for a different outcome, I guess. Scientists have announced that they have discovered the first communication between two people in dreams who are able to talk in their dreams and then remember what they talked about. It's kind of interesting. The second season of The Pit and the second season of Creature Commandos are in the works right now. Natasha Lyonne is set to play Joan Rivers in a biopic called Can We Talk? I saw this one. I didn't write anything down on it because I thought I could read it, but now I can't read it. So, oh well. So that one, or that one as well. The Brick trailer, again, nothing of real interest to me. The first ever sighting of a giant griffin vulture in Poland was this week. Glenn Powell is set to star in Ron Howard's new firefighter movie. Ron Howard made a firefighter movie already called Backdraft, so he's making another one apparently. Can't read that one either. Juneau, Alaska got their first ever severe thunderstorm warning. We got our first look at the Sandman trailer as well as the episode titles. I talked about the episode titles last week, but we got a new Sandman trailer this week. It's set debut July 3rd, the first part. Second part set debut July 24th. Yeah, I remember talking about that this week. Neon, who is producing and distributing a movie called Shelley Oaks, is doubling its budget so they can add more gore and violence to it. Okay. I Know What You Did Last Summer's new trailer popped up this week as well. And again, I can't read this one. Father Dunner torn dinner in something or other. I really got to do a better job of writing these notes down, don't I? I've been toying with the idea of, because I get most of my stuff from my Facebook page, of just reading from Facebook. So let me just see if I can. So anniversaries, we have Wolf, which is the Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer werewolf film, debuted 31 years ago this week. Psycho debuted 65 years ago in 1960. Ghostbusters 2 debuted this week in 1989. Crappy film, by the way. Gremlins 2 debuted in 1990. That was 35 years ago this week. Pretty decent movie, but absolutely different than the previous Gremlins movie, so that kind of threw me off for a little bit of it from really truly liking it, because I really liked the first one. The second one just sort of, it was just Joe Dante being allowed to do whatever the hell he wanted to. So there we go. Actually, we're getting close to where we need to go. Getting closer. Toy Story. 2 Men Jailed. We already talked about that. Let's see. Oh, that's what it was. 3 of the Beatles' sons are teaming up for the first time to release a new song together. I don't know which one that is. It might be one of the ones I couldn't read over here. Yep, 3 of the Beatles' sons. That's the one. So I couldn't read that one. So there's that one. So that's good. So John, Paul, and Ringo's sons are teaming up to do a song. So we'll see how that actually works out. And who knows? Maybe they'll reform the Beatles. Probably won't be as good, obviously, but still might be fun to see what they can do. We're getting closer. So. Let's see if I can find where. Bear with me here a second. In the Lost series. Okay, here we go. To this one, okay. Yeah, it's probably easier for me to do the paperwork. I just need to work it out better, writing it out. There's one. A feathered dinosaur tail was discovered in amber. That's what this one is. Feathered dinosaur tail was discovered in Myanmar, perfectly preserved in amber. So another dinosaur thing preserved in amber. So that's pretty interesting. And then we'll see if I can find this last one here, which is after the wolf. Brick trailer. It was just last summer. Steve Peppiune died. He was a Simpsons writer. Arthur Filasso. Mike Flanagan's Carrie has started production. That's what that one is. Carrie begins filming. I think that was announced last week too. Second season of that. Project Runway contestant Arthur Falasa Alu was shot and killed at a No Kings Utah protest. That was that death right there. David Hargis, Daredevil, Batman actor, died at the age of 41. Leonard Lauder, he was the son of the founder of Estee Lauder. He passed away this week as well. Oh yeah, Unforgiven. That's what it was. Untamed trailer. That's that one there too. Just gonna find the name of that person who died, and then I will be done. But yeah, this wouldn't be any of that fun for me to just do this. So that's why I'm gonna go back and just do the writing. But for now, I just need to finish this up. So, oh yeah, there it is. Teresa Merritt passed away. She was an American actress who was in The Wiz and The Goodbye Girl. That's who this death is right there. Yeah. I got all the anniversaries. So that's all stuff I need from this. So we're just going to go back and close all that shit down. And now we're good to the final story. This is kind of interesting. I don't know if Motel 6 is local to just this area or if there are other Motel 6 through the area. So you have the commercials where their tagline is Motel 6 will leave the light on. And then they picked up a guy by the name of Tom Bodette, who is the guy who does the voiceovers for these Motel 6 commercials. He's got this very folksy, down-home voice. It's really, really cool. I think it's really cool. And I think and Tom Bodette's kind of a cool name. And just the way he talks and he makes little jokes like that. And then he says, we'll leave the light on, stuff like that. It's actually a pretty decent commercials. He's suing Hotel 6. I don't exactly know why, but the fact that he is crazy. And last thing, I just saw this. Batman Begins celebrated its 20th anniversary this week as well. The Batman. So that was 2005. I need to do my top 20 films of 2005. That might be the next top 10 list I do. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'll take a look at that after I finish this show. Because I like talking Batman Begins. So Tom Bodette is going to be suing Motel 6 for some reason, so we'll see what happens. But I'm just going to be ashamed because I'm going to miss his voiceover because it's such a good folksy type of "we'll leave the light on," and I just like his voice. I don't know why. So, and the name is cool, Tom Bodette. So we're done. That was my birthday week. Next week is June 13th. I already got the episode. The episode is going to be called Under the Heat Dome because we're going to be doing this fucking heat dome bullshit. So we'll just suffer through that. So we'll suffer through that. The Minecraft movie comes out on Blu-ray on Tuesday. Ironheart, as I said, comes out either Tuesday or Wednesday. And then, excuse me, my son is going to have to get ready and my wife's going to have to get ready for summer camp because they're getting ready to do summer camp next weekend. So next Saturday, I'm going to actually do my show next Saturday because that's going to be the last night I'm going to be with my family for about a week because Sunday morning is when they head on up to camp. So what I might do is I might do my show Sunday instead because they'll be out of the house. And then I'll go to the grocery store, get my groceries for the week, and then I will start watching my movies and have my movie marathon. So then episode 614, which will be the July 4th weekend episode, we'll talk about the movies that I watched then. So I've got some stuff coming up here. Right now, the biggest thing is suffering through this shitty heat dome. Let's see if they've changed anything for the better, for the worse. Well, up here is not so bad. They've reduced it. Okay, that's interesting. It was in the hundreds in Baltimore. They have it only like in the 90s now. So here we go. We got 95 to 90 since it is Sunday now. 92 today, 95 Monday, 95 Tuesday, 93 Wednesday, 87 Thursday, 83 Friday, 84 Saturday, 86 Sunday, 87 Monday, 86 Tuesday. Now it looks like we're getting into a rain thing again because we have rain listed here Wednesday to next Tuesday, 35, 50, 60, 50, 40, 50, 40%. And the lows go down. So actually this is looking a lot less terrible than it was earlier. We were looking at 98s and stuff like that up here in Reisterstown. And in Baltimore, which is where it was really surprised me because they had 100-degree weather, we've got 94 on Sunday, 97 on Monday, 98 on Tuesday. Still going to be shitty, but it's not 100. 96 on Wednesday, 91 on Thursday, 85 Friday, 86 Saturday, 89 Sunday, 90 Monday, 89 on Tuesday. They have it partly sunny down here in Baltimore. So maybe it won't be that bad. Maybe they've heard our prayers. But right now it is 12:47 a.m. here on the Eastern Seaboard. It's 74 fucking degrees. Fuck that shit. But yeah, looking pretty better now. 92, 95, 95, 93. So, and then 80s, which is normal for our area. So we'll see what happens with that. So maybe the heat dome is not going to be as terrible as we think it is. So we'll see what is going on. Hey, today is Bruce Campbell's birthday, June 22nd. So happy birthday to the king. All right, that's all I got. Boom. Next week under the heat dome. And doesn't look to be as terrible. It's still going to be shitty. I mean, 97 and 98 down in Baltimore City. Still kind of shitty where I'm working. 95 up here. And the highs are going to be in the the lows are going to be in the 70s as well. So it's not going to give us any relief there. But we'll talk about that next week. Until then, enjoy your week. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. And be safe.